Deep in the heart of the remote village of Eldergrove, there was a dense forest known as Whisperwood. For generations, the villagers spoke in hushed tones about the eerie whispers that emanated from the woods when the moon hung low in the sky. No one dared to venture into the forest after dusk, for the whispers were said to drive people mad. Among the villagers, there was a young woman named Clara. Fascinated by the stories and driven by unquenchable curiosity, Clara decided to uncover the truth behind Whisperwood. Despite the warnings from elders and friends, she packed a small bag with essentials and set out one evening. Just as the sun began to set, as Clara stepped into the forest, the air grew colder, and the sounds of civilization faded away. The trees stood tall and menacing, their branches like skeletal fingers entwined. With every step, Clara's heart pounded louder, but she pressed on, determined to solve the mystery. After a while, the whispers began, faint and unintelligible at first, carried by the wind. Clara paused, straining to understand the fragmented voices. They seemed to call her name, luring her deeper into the forest. She shook off her fear and continued, driven by an unstoppable urge to reach the source of the whispers. As night fell, the forest grew darker, and the whispers louder and more distinct. Clara stumbled upon an ancient, abandoned cottage covered in vines. The door creaked open as if inviting her inside. Hesitating for a moment, she stepped into the dimly lit interior. The whispers now seemed to come from within the walls themselves. Suddenly, the air turned icy, and a chilling presence enveloped Clara. From the shadows emerged a figure, translucent and ghastly. It was a woman, her eyes hollow and sorrowful. The ghostly figure began to speak, her voice a harrowing echo. "I am Elara, once a healer of this village. I was betrayed and left to die in these woods. My soul cannot rest, and my whispers are a cry for justice." Clara listened intently, realization dawning upon her. Elara continued, "Find the amulet buried beneath the old oak tree. It holds the power to free me." Determined to help, Clara rushed out of the cottage and searched for the ancient oak. The whispers guided her steps, growing frantic as she approached the massive tree. Digging with her bare hands, Clara unearthed a tarnished silver amulet. With the amulet in hand, Clara felt a surge of energy. She returned to the cottage, where Elara's ghost awaited. As Clara held up the amulet, a brilliant light filled the room, and the ghostly figure began to dissipate. "Thank you," Elara whispered, her voice soft and free of torment. "You have given me peace." The light faded, and Elara was gone. The forest fell silent. The oppressive presence lifted. Clara emerged from Whisperwood just as dawn broke, exhausted but triumphant. She returned to the village, her story met with awe and disbelief. From that day on, the whispers in the woods ceased, and Whisperwood was no longer a place of fear. Clara had uncovered the truth and brought peace to a restless spirit, forever changing the lore of Eldergrove.